In this video, we are diving deep into the world of Shakespeare with a deep analysis of one of his greatest tragedies, Macbeth. Macbeth is a statement of evil. It is a play where the hero becomes the villain, good becomes bad, and values are reversed. Macbeth, with his overwhelming ambition, goes on committing murder after murder only to make his seat secure, and his partner Lady Macbeth prompts him to do these murders and stay in power. Next, we look at the sources of the play. Of all the writers of the world, William Shakespeare happens to be the greatest borrower of stories from history, legends, folk tales, and from other literary works. For all these borrowings, he has added a touch of his genius, and because of that creative talent, each work appears very new and novel. For his play Macbeth, Shakespeare has gone mainly to Holinshed's chronicles of Ireland, Scotland, and England. For supernatural elements, he took hints from Reginald Scott's Discourse of Witchcraft and King James's essay on demonology. Act first, scene first. No introduction is given. The three witches are introduced. The scene is set at an isolated heath near Foss in Scotland. The witches are considered the instruments of darkness. They meet in thunder, lightning, and in rain. They agree to meet Macbeth after the battle is over. The introduction of the witches here adds to the supernatural effect in the play. People during Shakespeare's time believed in the power of the supernatural. So, Shakespeare introduces the three witches at specific times like thunder and lightning. Again, we cannot put the statement that Shakespeare too believed in the power of the supernatural, as he is non-committal in his views. Fair is foul and foul is fair, hover through the fog and fill the air. These words are spoken by the three witches in the opening scene of the first act. The three witches who meet in a desert amidst thunder and lightning. They agree to meet Macbeth after the battle is over. Then they suggest that the spirits are calling them. So just before they vanish into thin air, they speak the above words together. The witches say that their motto is fair is foul, foul is fair. This speech suggests perversion of moral values. They stand for anarchy and disorder. These words of the three witches become the central theme of the whole drama. Act first, scene second. The scene is set in a camp near Foss. Each King Duncan is anxiously waiting for the news of the war. He wants to know how Macbeth and Banquo are progressing in war with the enemies. An officer gives the account of the war and explains how Macbeth has an upper hand. Later, Ross comes and informs the king that the Thane of Cawdor is defeated. The king is happy and he happily comments on the role of Macbeth in the country's victory. Act first, scene 3. For the second time, the three witches are introduced. They are waiting on the heath in thunder to meet and greet Macbeth, who is coming victoriously. He has defeated MacDonald in the battle. The witches greet Macbeth and tell him that he is the Thane of Glamis, Thane of Cawdor, and the third witch addressed him the King of Scotland. For a moment, Macbeth is surprised because he knows that he is going to be Thane of Glamis after his father's death. But how of Cawdor and how of becoming king? The witches tell more pleasing words to Banquo, that his children would be kings. When these two warlords are immersed in their own thoughts, Ross and Angus come as messengers of Duncan. They convey king's appreciation to Macbeth. Act first, scene 4. The scene is set in King Duncan's palace at Foss. The king comes with his followers. His eldest son Malcolm tells him that the Thane of Cawdor is killed as per king's orders. While Duncan was praising the good qualities of the Thane of Cawdor, Macbeth comes. Now his words apply more to Macbeth. In his happiness, he does two acts. One declares Malcolm to be the future King of Scotland and decides to visit Macbeth's castle that night itself to express his gratitude. These two acts of Duncan forces Macbeth to use his criminal mind. It appears that fate is pushing Macbeth near the throne through crime. Act first, scene fifth. In this scene, we are introduced to the other very important character, Lady Macbeth. She appears reading Macbeth's letter. At the same time, she begins to explain Macbeth's true nature. Macbeth is ambitious to the King of Scotland, but is a kind-hearted man and did not think of showing his other side. Again, she is excited at the news of Duncan's arrival that very evening. A fiend like Queen decides to take control of the whole situation and dictate terms to her husband. She decides to make use of the shortest time left between Duncan's arrival and his departure to the best possible use. Lady Macbeth is a perfect partner to her husband Macbeth and completes his personality by providing what he lacks. The essential feminine qualities such as love, affection and mercy are lacking in her character. Her main goal is one, to make Macbeth the King of Scotland look like the innocent flower but be the serpent under it. These words are spoken by Lady Macbeth to her husband Macbeth in Act 1st, Scene 5th. Lady Macbeth has already made up her mind to catch the nearest way to make Macbeth the King of Scotland. Macbeth reports to her that Duncan would be arriving there and staying in his castle that night. Lady Macbeth feels that the opportunity has come to them for itself and they should seize this opportunity or chance to finish Duncan off. She tells Macbeth to look like the innocent flower but be the serpent under it. That means from outside, Macbeth should appear cheerful, but from inside, he should be determined to commit the murder of Duncan. Act 1st, Scene 6. The scene is laid before Macbeth's castle. It is evening. The atmosphere and the setting is very pleasant when Duncan begins to praise the castle. He does not know that it is going to be his deathbed. The scene is an example of dramatic irony. Lady Macbeth comes and greets Duncan. She says that all his services appear small compared with the honor he has bestowed on them by coming over there. The king makes due enquiries about Macbeth and Lady Macbeth conducts king and his followers into the castle. So why does Shakespeare say that this scene is an example of dramatic irony? Duncan praises the castle for its beautiful atmosphere. He says that the atmosphere is very pleasant, relaxing and so on. But he is not aware of the tragedy that is going to happen. That the beautiful castle which he praised is going to be his deathbed. But the audience who are watching it are aware of the tragedy that is going to take place. Act 1st, Scene 7. Macbeth's personality is revealed to Sully Luckwis in the play. In this scene, he reveals his inner fears. If he kills Duncan, who is his relative, a guest, and king of his country, entire country may raise against him if he is killed. He is really great in everything. Only his vaulting ambition is prompting him to commit murder. Lady Macbeth, who comes there, begins to taunt him with various words. He lacks courage and strong willpower. She assures him that he will not fail and the golden opportunity should not be missed. She tells him how he could be murdered after making the bodyguards drunk completely. After the murder, he would be the king. She prepares him to go ahead and kill sleeping Duncan at once.